Good afternoon. Hi, it's Carrie from Conversations at Carrie's Corner on this last Tuesday of August. And oh my goodness, that means that fall starts officially next week. And I don't know about you, but I am really ready for this summer to be gone. It has been, I think, one of the most tumultuous summers we've had in a really long time. Even more so than last summer. This one has just been so full of negative, and I am really glad to see it's leaving. So it's Labor Day this weekend. I hope wherever you are, you're going to have a great Labor Day. My husband and I are going away, and I can't wait for that too. So I am excited that we are at this moment right now. So what are we going to talk about today? Conversations at Carrie's Corner. This is a podcast where I talk about things that are affecting us right now, challenges, struggles, problems, whether it be a personal, a political, a family, society, just anything that is causing challenges in our lives, or we have concerns about, or we have really differing opinions about. There's a lot of that for sure. This particular subject today is one of those, but Conversations at Carrie's Corner really got started last fall because of our election. I just could not get my head around how absolutely divided we all are in this country because of our election, because of the volatility in our political system, and the inability for, it seems, very few of us to communicate anymore. We just don't talk to each other. We don't work out our problems like we used to. You used to be able to sit down at a table, put a cup of coffee on the table and sit down and talk about these things and work them out and come up with solutions and do it respectfully with common sense and not this volatile hatred that is going on. Families are even dividing over all of the things that are happening in our political world. And to me, it's just a really scary result of leadership failing to do their job, especially in the United States of America. And I think all around the world, frankly, though, we are just not seeing stellar, confident, decisive leadership in the West. And that's a concern for all of us. I think it should be a concern. So I decided that I just wanted to start a conversation. So hopefully what I talk about resonates with you, and you'll share it with your community of influence. If you're seeing this, you're my community of influence. And then I hope that it is pushed forward, that it will get people thinking about these things, talking about them, and then hopefully inspiring you or others to try to make a change, to get involved and talk to your circle of influence. What can we do to fix these things? So that's kind of how Conversations at Carrie's Corner got started. It is part of a bigger business called Carrie's Corner, which is a DIY company. We do assistance with DIY projects as well as interior design, and there's a few other things that are also done. I have a coffee storefront, and there's a grief counseling. It all funnels through what is called Carrie's Corner. I'm Carrie. Conversations at Carrie's Corner is part of it. Today I wanted to talk about a subject that's in the news today, and it's an important subject. I feel very passionate about this, and it's burning our American flag. And can only be two sides to this, yes or no. I don't believe there's an in-between. My personal opinion is you never burn an American flag, because I think when you burn an American flag, you dishonor every man and woman that's died to give us this freedom. And that freedom is represented in our flag. So if you're burning an American flag, I feel like you're burning those sacrifices, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with any man or woman giving the ultimate sacrifice, their life, to this country for our freedoms, and then burning the symbol of that sacrifice. I think that's desecrating them. I think it's wrong. I think it's a violation of trust. I think it is a violation of the privilege of being an American to have these amazing freedoms. I think it's wrong. This is my personal opinion. I would never burn a flag. I am from Australia originally, so I have allegiance to two countries, my home country, because I'm still a citizen, and the United States of America. I would never burn either one of those flags. I would die for those countries because they've both given me this life. I've been in the United States since 1969. I have a beautiful family, a husband, 2 boys, and I'm living the American dream. So how do I have the right to then partake in this amazing thing, this amazing life here in the United States, and then turn around and desecrate it by burning the symbol of that American dream? I think it's completely wrong on a moral perspective. I think it's completely wrong, and I would never do it. I don't have the right to condemn anybody from doing it because they're free to do it. That's where I struggle. We live in a free society. We are free. So I don't know that our government has the right to say you can't burn a flag. I think our society should say that it's wrong to burn a flag for the reasons I've already talked about. But I don't think we have the right to say to somebody, as a person, I don't think we have the right, I don't have the right to say to somebody, you can't burn that flag. Why do I have that right? Ethically, morally, it's wrong to burn the flag. But the flip side of that is all of those men and women who've died to keep our country free, have they died to give that person who wants to burn the flag the right to burn it? It's a really sticky subject. Is it a crime? I don't know. I really don't know. From a moral perspective, I think it's wrong, and I think most Americans will agree that it's wrong. But there are people in our society, in our country, who strongly believe they have the right to burn this flag. And I don't know if any of us have the right to condemn that because we are free. It is probably the most complex subject next to abortion that I feel really conflicted about. I mean, I would never burn a flag. Never. Would never happen. And if you're on my property, because it is my property, you will never be allowed to burn a flag on my property. But not everybody thinks like me. And the definition of a free society is that we are free. So it's a really complicated, passionate issue. And I think there's going to be a lot of debate about it. And I think it's going to cause a lot of friction, like everything else does. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's right that you have the right to burn the symbol of our freedom? The symbol that represents thousands of lives lost in defense of our freedoms? I know military personnel absolutely does not agree, period, that you have the right to do anything to the American flag. And I agree with this. I just am not sure that we have the right, because we are free, to demand that anybody else believe the way that we believe. That's the quagmire that we are in. I think our president is trying to protect our flag, what it stands for, and all of those who've perished dying for it. And he's going to get a lot of heat from it. But that is his conviction, and he's right. He's entitled to have it. Again, it becomes complicated then when he signs an order that says this is the way that it has to be. Does he really have the right to do that? I wouldn't even begin to be able to answer that, because I'm not a scholar in our constitutional law to be even able to guess on that. But it's a big subject, and it is one that we're going to hear a lot of in the coming days. I don't know. It's a very passionate, complex, big question mark, and I think it's gonna cause a lot of really heated debate in the next few days. So I'd love to hear back from you. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is okay? And if you do, why? Why do you think it's okay? I'd really love some feedback on this, because this is one of the subjects that I struggle with myself. Not with my conviction, but how it is applied into our free society. That's what I struggle with. And I would really love some feedback on it. So let me know. I don't even know that this is a yes or a no thing. Yes meaning you can burn, or no meaning you can't. I don't think it's cut and dry like that. I think it's complex, and I think it's going to take a lot of debate and a lot of, I hope, bipartisan conversation, but I can't hold my breath for that. As we've seen in the last 10 years, our leaders don't do a very good job of holding rational, bipartisan, neutral conversations. They're all so self-absorbed in their own perspective, in their own beliefs, that they forget about us as the American public and what we may be struggling for. That is probably what upsets me most about all of the politicians in this country, is they are losing sight of us and what we need and our desires and our struggles and the things that need to be changed for us. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you feel about this very sensitive but very important conversation about our national symbol, the beautiful red, white, and blue Star-Spangled Banner, the American flag, that flies to keep all of us free every day. And there are men and women right now on the line defending it. We have to think about them too in this conversation, because they are on the lines keeping us all safe every day, and they can't be forgotten in this conversation. Conversations at Carrie's Corner. That's what this is about. Sparking a conversation with you, and then hopefully you will take it and speak to your circle of influence, and so on and so on. Because that's how we make change happen, is when we come back to the middle and talk to each other, respect each other, listen to each other, and then formulate game plans to fix or attempt to fix our problems. And I hope that this small podcast in my own way contributes to that, because it's important. We need to. We have way too much divide in this country to allow the leaders of our country to continue to be irresponsible and only think about themselves. That has to stop, because the people who suffer are the American citizens. They don't have to ever worry about themselves for the rest of their life. But there's Americans out there today that can't buy food, whose kids don't have insurance, who can't go to the doctor, who don't have shoes, who can't eat. And that's not okay. On any day of the week, that is not okay, under any circumstances. We are the most powerful, richest nation on the earth. How is that happening here? Thanks for joining me. I do 2 podcasts a week. This is the first one for the week, and I would love some feedback. Let me know what you think. Where are you on this issue? Are you like me, kind of half in, kind of half out? Are you all the way in? Are you all the way out? I want to hear from everybody because this is an important conversation to have. And I hope you have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I'm so excited for it. I can't tell you how excited I am. And I'll see you in the next podcast. This is Carrie from Conversations at Carrie's Corner. I do 2 a week, and I look forward to hearing from you. Many blessings. God bless you, keep you safe, and God bless our amazing United States of America.